We hear this all the time. Our ERP already integrates with Shopify, or it already integrates with BigCommerce, or whatever platform the business happens to be using. And yeah, technically there are aspects of it that does. You've got data syncing, SKUs, inventory, maybe some basic pricing and product descriptions, but if you're in B2B, you're just getting started. Your ERP isn't just a database that pushes out info to a storefront. It's the brain of your business, how you manage complex pricing, customer-specific workflows, compliance rules, multi-step orders, and more. And no two B2B businesses run the same. That logic is your fingerprint. So when you add e-commerce, especially with a platform that wasn't built alongside your ERP, it's not going to understand any of that complexity, native integration or not. At best, it'll sync the basics, but all that deep logic, it's going to be lost, because if it could handle that level of nuance, it wouldn't be an e-commerce platform, it would be an ERP, or would have to be built specifically for your ERP and your ERP only. We've seen teams spend 6 to 9 months and beyond getting one of these integrated platforms live, only to find out that the connector can't support the stuff that matters. And at that point, you either rip it all out and start again, or you start duct taping in manual workarounds. It's not just frustrating, it's really costly. And the longer you try and figure out ways around the integration problem, the worse things are going to get. This is where a lot of folks get stuck. They're not trying to reinvent everything. They're just wanting to make it easier for customers to buy without having to give up on what's already working in their business. But the promise of this whole plug and play idea, it creates a false sense of simplicity. And here's the reality. There is no one size fits all. Not when your pricing logic is custom, not when your ERP isn't built for storefronts, and certainly not when your e-commerce platform isn't built for operations. That mismatch, it creates gaps, and those gaps don't show up in the demo. They show up when you get into final testing and trying to get this thing out for launch. This is usually when we get the call. And we're not here to rip out your tech stack and replace it with another problem. We start by learning how your business actually works. What happens when an order comes in? How pricing gets calculated? Where is there friction in your customer journey? And where do things really start sucking up the time for your teammates? Then we help map a path that respects the systems that you already have, and we fill in the gaps with the tools that actually fit. So instead of babysitting a convoluted system of half tech and half manual processes, your team can focus on serving customers now. And your customers, well, they can finally work with your business without having to call for every reorder or invoice. You've probably heard all the buzzwords: frictionless, seamless, connected. But B2B isn't simple. It never has been. And I certainly know this because I've been doing this since 1998. And complexity isn't a problem at the end of the day. It's part of your value. And you don't need to dumb things down. You need systems that understand how your business actually works. If you're already feeling friction, whether you're halfway through an integration or let's just say you're just getting started, we are absolutely happy to have a simple chat. And I'm going to promise you right now, there won't be a sales pitch here, of course, unless you ask for one. But we're just going to have a real conversation about you and your business, and we'll be the first to tell you if we're not a fit. And if you'd rather explore things on your own first, that's absolutely fine. And you can join us on our next webinar to get a full rundown of how the whole discovering strategy process that we implement and how it takes shape and what it looks like in practice. And I'd just like to finish things off by saying clarity before the chaos. That's what makes digital work in B2B.